Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I am your host, Mary Ellen. This is the part 2 of test 3 using K3N's Cloth Tales tea and iron fabric dyeing method. Wow, that's a lot. And so, just as a refresher, we're just gonna get right into it. This was test number 1, which was pretty dark. This is test number 2, a hair lighter, and I was looking to be able to get something that was even lighter. So we will put these gently off to the side for the mow and have a look at the results of test 3, see what we get, and then we will compare and contrast. Now this is test 2, test 3. So test 3, which was February 9-10, Gung Hei Fat Choi, to anybody who celebrates. So we did all of that. So what were the changes? So change number 1, we used a lot less iron. Accidentally, I forgot to put in any coffee. So there was no coffee. And 3 was, for the first couple of layers, I used table salt, and then I went back to the Himalayan salt when I realized what had happened. So change salt halfway through. This is not great science when you are changing multiple variables unless you are doing it in a specific pre-thought out way. You can actually change 2 things at once and compare them all, and you can get a result. There is math and so on and so forth. This is the simplest way to just keep doing the same thing over and over again, change one thing and see what the effect is. So I really haven't looked at this in any kind of detail, so let's have a look at this together. So item number 1. Ooh. So this is item number 1. This is really fun. Wow, look at that. Yes. So this, I'm just going to be cutting threads as we go. So this is the result of having that thin wire that I manipulated before I put down. So this organic circle, this looks like almost an ampersand or a musical note. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Now let's flip you over, see what we have on the other side. More or less the same. This, I think, is the dark side of this, because when I put them down, I fold them like this so that there is effects on both sides. So coffee doesn't really bring a lot to the table. Might have gotten this. What is that? What I did? This and this. So this was the change in coffee, and this is no coffee, and no coffee to this. Not a lot. So I would say coffee, less of an influence than one might imagine. Iron, 100% is a huge influence over the color. That's pretty. I really like that. Those marks are just fab. Okay, so that's 1. And this is, I can't stand not knowing where the middle of the sheet is, so in my sheets I will mark them because that's who I am as a person. Item number 2. Ooh. So this one, ooh, okay. All right, stop moving it around and let the people see. So that ring and even this ring are the same piece of metal. So that goes like that, and then that'll fold underneath. Well, that's kind of fun. This is more swirly metal. These are starting to be like Rorschach images. I can sort of start to see things in them. So there's a piece of steel there. There's that circle. This probably was landed on a fold of some kind. Yeah, ooh, that looks like a fish. Hang on, Gracie, what are we doing? Hang on a second, she's gonna do something. Grace? Yeah. Don't be giving me no lip. You know better. Do you? Okay. What was she wanting to do? She was wanting, so I have inside screen windows, so you can open the windows, and she will launch herself up and grab the screen, and I would prefer to not have to replace the screens. So I am trying to dissuade her from that activity, but it's not easy. Spring is going to be just a living nightmare for me, I think, this year, because she's just going to be so active. She's already, there's a squirrel. So we are going to do the rest. I need to finish the story or I'll never finish it. So there's a squirrel that eats my neighbor's rose hips. They have these beautiful bank of roses. They just leave them to go to seed. The squirrel is now eating them, and it is on a fence. That fence is eyeballs straight in front of a window. And Gracie, I've caught her 3 times now, just hanging there. I have seen her jump from a standing position to that. Like, you're indoors, you silly mutt. You're not gonna do anything. Anyways, back to fiber. So here is another one. Now this one really is soft. Soft. Some more of that curlicue metal. So we're back to the Himalayan salt, because that's the effect that I got last time. And so it seems to have some quality to it that is different than normal table salt. I have no idea what that quality is. I'm sure we could Google Himalayan salt and see what special thing is in there that gives this effect. But this one's nice. I like this one too. And this one is very lovely. And so another difference that I had was when I was stacking them like this, the last time I was putting intense iron at the sides, and so it was feeding into these areas here as well. And then this one was probably just a really fast fold. I don't know where it would have been. It would have been tight. And then we flip over and see what we have here. So this is more purpley, I think, or at least you can see more purples. And there you can see the mirror image where it would have been flipped over like that. And here's that circle again, I think. maybe. Okay. Where did I put the scissors? Here we are. The manipulating the straight wire into shapes, I think, could have a lot of potential for doing things like if you were interested in making like hearts or leaf shapes, or even, you know, complex things like flowers and so forth. And here is the last one. Ooh, oh yes. So, back is better. So this was a screw, and the contact spots are just the lines that the screw makes. That's fun. These are mostly washers. Mostly washers, and then two again. And then flip you over. And so the screw marking came through here. And where there has been, I think, direct contact with the metal is where you get the orange. So this has got much nicer variability, like that spot there. Really nice. And then another one over here. So this, I think, is what I would say, I don't know what I would say, because it really, oh, look at all the salt band there. It really depends on what the application is to say whether or not these are successful. I mean, they're successful because I changed the sheet from white to something. That is the success. And second success, I got a lot of information about the process of this dyeing. So let's do it in the order that it was done. So this is dye lot number 1. And I'm not gonna be precious about pulling out any particular piece, just having a look. There, oops, do that. Okay, then this one, oops, at the wrong end. So there's number 3. So that's 1. And then this is the pink that's the big old fit of uglies. That's 2. And then this is test 3. No material difference, really. I mean, the difference is quite subtle. This I like the best, I think, because it is least dark, but that is a like that I have about the color of fabric and maybe my possible uses of them. So, is there anything else that we can, ooh, that's a nice bit, say or observe? I'm not sure that there is, really. Just gonna tuck all that in there. And then there's 3 because I no longer have the 4th one. It has been put to good use, that's what I'm gonna say. So, what do we know? What do we know for sure? So, another difference that I have between this and Catherine's is I am using, by and large, industrial iron. So I am foraging in an area where my rust parts are coming off of tractor trailers. So those washers are off of trucks. They have been exposed and they are super rusty. They are also thick, so that there is a lot of, it's not like it's fine like a hairpin where there isn't a lot of necessarily rust to bleed out. These are iron bits of stuff. So maybe it's the iron content that I am using that is quite intense. I'm still using a lot, I think, in comparison, though you can certainly see places where I have used less, and in the using less, you see more variability. So, less iron allows for more variability. Coffee doesn't really matter. Himalayan, that's not how you spell it. Pink salt leaves white marks. Table salt. Or at least not in the concentrations that I was using. What else do I want to say? I have changed the time slightly, so I can't stand waiting for this. So this overnight is the same as 24 hours. So this pure 24 hours, both of these were probably 18. And the other thing that I want to say as an observation is when I started this one, with all of them, I'm peeking, I'm looking underneath to see what's happening. The iron reaction is quite fast. And I would say almost immediately. So I think what time does is allow the iron time to do other things. But certainly when I am peeking in, I can see bold black areas where, say, a washer has been, or so on and so forth. So the time, so therefore changing time, so changing the wait time likely changes the intensity of dye, intensity of print. So, anything else we want to say about this? One thing I want to say is I totally need to make a rice bag now because I have a so this is about a half a sheet's worth of fabric. So I have more than enough of this kind of fabric, and there is a lot of variability. Oh, next test run. I don't think, use such large pieces of fabric. Because I have a really good supply now, which is fine. I am not the least bit opposed. So that is my 3 tests. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something to be able to incorporate in your own practice, either about the recipe itself and or the methods of how you might be able to do your own kind of dye investigation. The core thing that I would say is write it down. If you don't write it down and you are doing multiple iterations, the fineness of the things that you are changing is going to be lost to your memory and to time, and you won't be able to go, I can't remember how I did this. The other thing that I need to do is I need to find a way of packaging these to be able to say, this is the test 3, this is the test 2, and that's the test 1, because I visually, I might not be able to do that. So that's the other thing. And so label your work. Anyways, that is all for now. What's my outro? My outro is take care of yourself and stay out of trouble. Oh, and if you are doing this, I don't know that I said it last time, but you saw me, wear gloves, because this is iron, it is salt, it is T-tannic acid. So you're dealing with acids, irons, and salts, all of which do not, they are incompatible with nice soft skin. That's all for now. I will talk to you soon. Bye now.